We're doing Purple Haze, and we're doing the song, the full song this time. I already did the solo in another lesson, so if you're looking for the solo and info on that, go ahead and check out the other lesson. Alright, so we're going to start from the beginning here with this song, and work our way through. Basically, we've got just a few parts with this song. So let's start with the intro. It's a cool thing that's going on here. The bass is playing an E note, while the guitar is playing a B flat octave. So we get kind of this like, kind of like really weird and gross sound at the beginning with combined two parts. So on guitar, just an octave B flat, like that with staccato notes. All right, now the kind of intro figure after that is we're mainly playing out of E minor pentatonic. We're going to add in some F sharp notes too a little bit when we slide into notes, but it's really all just E minor pentatonic. So the first phrase goes like this. So what we're doing is we're sliding into the 9th fret, 7th fret, so it's like a G arpeggio, and then we're bending this G note up just a little bit, and then we're coming down to an A note with vibrato, so slowly. Okay, now what we have next is this. It's a call and response thing. It's a real common melodic compositional technique. It's what's called call and response. So you've got one phrase, the call phrase, then you've got your response phrase. So the response phrase is we're sliding into the G from F sharp, real quick like that, then playing the open D string, and then we've got the low E, and then we're sliding in from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. Alright, so let's move on from there, and we'll look at the next call and response type phrase. So we have pickups, and you can play that with a slide or a hammer-on. So it's a hammer-on, and then we have this. So that answer to that call and response. So the response is G, A, open E to G, and we're going to do some vibrato there. Then we have the call phrase again. It's a little different though, so it's a little variation. So then we're coming down G to D, and then we're finishing our phrase with. So sliding up to the 9th fret, like that, and then what we have is he picks like the it's like the G and B strings, and then on beat 4 he slides down and out. So like that. And now we are into the verse. Alright, so I'll play the first verse for you. And there's a little bit of room for improv and some subtle variations. So I'll just play it and then we'll talk about it. and then we're into the next verse. So, what we have, I'm going to switch over to clean. Might be a little bit easier for you to see what's going on here. So, what we have in the verse is the classic, what people refer to as the, quote, Hendrix chord. And what that is a dominant 7 sharp 9, an E dominant 7 sharp 9. So, we're going to play the low open E, and then we've got 7th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, and 8th fret. That sound. So rhythmic-wise, the low E hits on the downbeat, the 1, and then on beat 2 we have 2 ands, like that. So we're strumming the inner 4 strings. And then on beat 3 we have a 16th note thing. We're going to miss the first beat, and then we're going to come back up for it's the like 3 E and is where we're going to play. Now beat 4, usually we're just you're gonna see 8th notes again, like a strum of the chord and then like the root note, and he'll like slide out, like that type of thing. Now, like I said, there's some room for variation. Really, beat 1 and 2 is what he's keeping the same every time. So 1, 2, and then he's almost always skipping beat 3, that downstroke. But after that, you've got variety, or room for variety. So you could do something like that, or like that. You know, that kind of thing. So, okay, let's move on from there. The next chords are G and A, and what he's doing here is fretting the bass note with the thumb, and then he's not playing the high E at all, and the 5th string is muted with the thumb. So you get that sound. So what we have here, rhythmic wise, is bass notes 1 and 2 and. So bass notes, strum, bass. Then over the A chord, we have this. Again. So here's why he's fretting the chord like this. You'll notice that the pinky finger is free, unlike playing these bar chords like this. So what that does is it allows him to do a pull off on the 2nd string to embellish that chord. So is how that part goes. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and and then he might do 4 E and or 4 E and. So that would be 4 E and or 4 E and. That kind of thing. So to put it all together. Something I'll say is you don't have to do the thing every time, and I probably wouldn't just because it gets a little bit repetitive. So here's maybe how I might approach playing the verse. So I did it, you know, the 1st and 3rd times, but not the 2nd time, to keep it a little more interesting. Okay, so let's talk about now the fill that happens between, it's a transitional thing between verses or verse to solo. So that goes like this. We have octaves, so grace note slide into F sharp, and then we're coming down the scale, E, D. now we have something similar to what we had in the intro. We have this. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, like that is the rhythm. So 9, 7, 8 again. And he's doing a little quarter step bend there on that 8th fret G note. Okay, so now we have another verse. Now this one is a little bit different from the first one. He throws in some little minor blues scale fills. So I'll play what he's doing here, and then we'll talk about it. So, over the E minor chord, you can do some fills. Is basically what I'm getting into here, the E7 sharp 9. So the first time through, he just does it like he does during the first verse. And then some of the other times we have these cool little fills that he does. So one of the fills, it goes like this: 1, 2. And then we have 16th notes is the fill. So hammer on, then like that. Alright, now here's the other fill that he does. It goes like this: 1, 2, like that. So it's B, D, G, and then we have a pull-off from E to D, and then walking down the minor blues scale. Like that. Sorry. So, to recap, at this point we're to the solo, and that's something I talked about, like I said, in the other video. So check out that other video, and if you want, and then join me. I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the rest of this song. Okay, so now what we have after the solo is, it's kind of like a re-intro, or you could call it an interlude type thing. Now the first two phrases of this start off just like the beginning. And then the next phrase is it looks sort of like a variation on what happened before, and we get this. So again we have this. Alright, now at the end we have then to end this interlude. So the intro is 8 bars, or the re-intro / interlude, 8 bars. We have this. And then we have our third verse, so we'll talk about that next. So now with the third verse, he pretty much plays it exactly like the first one. There's, those little rhythmic differences at the end of the first measure of the riff, but he doesn't do like the fills over the chords, and so then this part is the same as well from the first verse. So now what we have is we have another transitional thing that leads to the outro solo. So the transitional stuff, and then what happens is he turns the Octavia on, and then he's got basically like a 4-bar thing. Then after that, it's all just tremolo picking on like an E note that he bends. So let's look at the little those 4 bars that lead into just the tremolo picking at the end. So let's look at these licks here. What we have to start off the solo, or the lead into the outro solo type thing, we have the type thing again, but with the Octavia on now. So 1, 2, like that. And he's doing a vibrato on it instead of like our typical bend thing. And then our next thing that we have is so it's kind of like an A7 chunk of an arpeggio. And then the next part is, I would analyze it as like an E Dorian thing. So we have, let's see, 3, 4, 1. So again, 3, 4, 1. So we've got a quarter note rest, then an 8th note rest, then 16th notes. So again, 3, 4, 1. So that's where. So after that phrase, then we just basically are picking on that bent E note, ad lib, just improvising and kind of trying to keep cool rhythms going and bending the string up and letting it release and pushing it back up to give drama is basically all that he's doing at the end of the song. Okay, so something I want to say about the outro is due to the Octavia effect, it's a little bit hard to tell where certain notes are being played. It could be that or over here. So and that's the outro. Alright, so that'll do it for Purple Haze. That's the whole song. Alright, I am Matt Brown, and I will see you guys around.